Beginning your descent. Cruising depth in roughly 40 seconds. Stand by. I'm seeing some voltage irregularities in the instruments, so keep an eye out for sparks or flames or anything like that. Approaching maximum depth. The hull's feeling it, but it's still holding strong. Closing porthole shielding. We're starting to lose radio signal. You'll be at cruise depth soon, so return and be careful. You're on your own.
You can't leave. You can't see what's out there, but something out there can see you. Iron Lung isn't just a horror game. It's more than that. It's an experiment. It's a psychological trap. Created by David Szymanski, best known for Dusk, it's a short experience that does something most horror games never dare to do. It locks you inside a single, rusted metal coffin and lets your imagination do the rest. Today, we're exploring how Iron Lung turns claustrophobia, sound, and minimalism into one of the most unsettling horror experiences ever made. The game begins with a simple premise. You're a convict, forced to pilot a tiny submarine on a deadly mission. There's no open world, no monster chase, no way to move freely. The entire game takes place in a single, suffocating space smaller than your bedroom. You feel the walls around you, the cold metal, the dripping pipes, the distant pressure of the ocean. Horror in Iron Lung is about being trapped. It's more than just being hunted. You're trapped with your thoughts, your fears, and the things you can't see. The design itself becomes psychological. The more time you spend in that sub, the smaller it feels. Iron Lung takes away your most trusted sense, sight. Instead, it forces you to navigate through sound. Every click, creak, and echo becomes an event. The distant clang of metal could mean a shift in pressure or something brushing against the hull. The sonar ping is your only companion, a mechanical heartbeat pulsing through the silence. What's genius here is restraint. The audio never tells you exactly what's happening. It only suggests. The moment you hear something new, your brain fills in the worst possible image. And that's where Iron Lung thrives. In the space between what you hear and what you imagine. Compared to most horror games where you're exploring and discovering new places, collecting notes, items, and just discovering and getting the story in a gradual sense, Iron Lung gives you coordinates. You move by turning dials and watching numbers change. No sense of direction, no windows, just math, rust, and fear. You have to trust that the machine is doing what you tell it to. Each time you stop to take a photo, it's a gamble. Will the image show an empty ocean or something staring back? It's a brilliant twist on the concept of player agency. You're technically in control, but emotionally, you're powerless. You never truly know where you are or what's waiting nearby. The beauty of Iron Lung is how much it trusts the player's imagination. Most horror games show too much. Monsters, gore, jump scares. But Iron Lung is 90% waiting, watching, listening. You start inventing things in the dark corners of your mind. When a sound echoes from nowhere, you fill in the blank. When the lights flicker, you decide what's out there. And because it's your imagination, it's perfectly tailored to your personal fear. That's why this game sticks with people long after it ends. It feels like you built the horror yourself. Beneath its mechanics, Iron Lung tells a story about humanity's obsession with discovery. You're exploring a dead moon, an ocean of blood, risking your life for a few blurry photos. It's a commentary on our need to understand the unknowable, even if it kills us. This is cosmic horror without the spectacle that you usually see. The universe doesn't care if you live or die. You're just another speck inside a tin can surrounded by infinity. Lovecraft talked about the terror of the unknown. Iron Lung captures that perfectly, not through monsters but through meaninglessness. You're small, insignificant, and entirely disposable. And you feel it. When the game finally breaks its silence, it's brutal. The ending hits fast, with no warning, no closure, and no explanation. All that tension, all that dread, it snaps in an instant, then static. Silence. You don't even get to process what happened. And that's the point. Horror does not need resolution. It only needs to remind you that you were never in control. Iron Lung proves that fear does not come from what you see. It comes from what you can't escape. In an era where most horror games chase realism, Iron Lung reminds us that imagination is still the scariest tool in the room. And the best horror is not about monsters. It's about the human mind when it's left alone too long. It's actually funny and kind of experimental. It has been kind of experimental that I went back to Iron Lung to revisit it and to play it again after a couple of years of its release. Because my first ever video on this channel is actually about this very topic, the fear of the unknown. And to revisit this game and to make a video on a similar topic but taking Iron Lung as a blueprint, it's kind of funny, but in a good way. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, as it helps the channel a lot. My name is Surjan, or you could call me Herc, and this was Horror Visuals. I'll see you in the next one.